I know you, and you the door. I stop you too, you and all. You Lord, heaven making me right. Just like me standing else to talk about heaven making me, no one making me. I must say I am on my side, but still you sense to see I'm just a victim. You can't be innocent, seeing it, and you baby light. I steal my eyes and I try never to fight for end. I want side you can't defend. Heaven making me running me. No, I be standing else. Heaven making me, no one making me. Heaven making me, heaven making me, no one making me. Heaven making she, I won't making me. Heaven making me, no one making me. Heaven made me,
Shalom, Israel, shalom. Welcome back to part 2 of My Truth Doctrine, the Bobby Brown Syndrome. So the first part, we dealt with vain and deceptive doctrines of men. And this topic is about how people believing they have their own truth, making their own doctrines, and feeding it to people, feeding it to their kids. Even some who knew the truth went back into the pig pen, now saying they have their own truth. Now they have a delusion. So this is Deacon Price from the King James Bible University. We read out of the Sovereign King James Bible 1611 with the Paleo-Hebrew Keyword Dictionary. So let's continue this teaching. The My Truth Doctrine, aka the Bobby Brown Syndrome. My prerogative. They believe they can do what they want to do. So let's start off with the foundation. Psalm 78 and 2. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old. This is how the Most High is communicating with his people. And in order to understand what he's trying to relate through that communication of the parable, we need to go to Isaiah 28, 9 and 10. Whom shall he teach knowledge? Question mark. And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Question mark. Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. So in order to get the understanding of these parables, we need to get a little information from the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Apocrypha. let's see if we have a choice in the matter. Let's go to Psalms 119:4 and 104. Thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently. Why? Let's go to verse 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Understanding of what? Those parables, that communication. Therefore I hate every false way. So if they're not doing it the way that he commanded, which is not an option, then they're going to give you a false way every time. Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of the Spirit of God and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. Anyone telling you that there's contradictions or that this book is false is blaspheming the Spirit, and they don't have any understanding. And the Spirit of God, the creator of heaven and earth, has nothing to do with them and their foolishness. 2 Peter 1:20 and 21. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the Scripture is of any private interpretation. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men, separated men, sanctified of God, spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost. So they were moved by the separated body. Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. And further by these, my son, be admonished, of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. So we're going to go into part 2 of my truth doctrine, the Bobby Brown syndrome. So this part is called false doctrine, false mouthpieces, and false claims equals conditions, blemishes, bondage, Babylon, and death. So this is what you get from jumping from false doctrine to false doctrine, basically condition to condition. So they were taught by supposed elders. Now they're saying that they have the truth, even though their works is contrary. And those who knew the truth go back under those, knowing it was wrong, but go back because they want to still do the works of the flesh and unrighteousness. So they go back into confusion, into the condition, because that flesh is just too good to give up, according to them. So let's start at Jeremiah 29 and 9. And remember, these are the ones who live after their own truth. They said they're going to live their truth. They're going to spread their truth to others, let others know that they can do what they want according to what they feel. They have power to manifest things and do things because whatever they believe that they create things. Some women have kids, they believe that, oh, we're creators, we create babies. I say, no, you reproduce. God creates, you reproduce. Let's get into it. Jeremiah 29:9. For they prophesy falsely unto you in my name, in my way. I have not sent them, saith the Spirit of God. So when they tell you things like this, Mother Nature and Mother Universe, and he didn't send them with this message. So they're prophesying falsely. They didn't create anything. They're only doing within the functions of what God created us to do. We're the creation. We don't have a truth. We're supposed to be following the truth. So when people tell you that you can have your own doctrine and live your own life and have your own truth, Jeremiah 29:9, for they prophesy falsely unto you in my name. I have not sent them, saith the Spirit of God. They give you that message out of their own hearts. 1 John 2:18. Two and 18. 1 John 2 and 18. Little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard that Antichrist shall come, even now are there many Antichrists. For thought, whereby we know that it is the last time. So remember, a lot of people going to say Christ is here, Christ is this, Christ told me to tell you this, Christ is in me, Christ saved me from this, Christ did that. Okay, maybe Christ did save them, but they went back into the filth. Now they're spreading lies and bringing their own truth and their own doctrine into the world. 2 John 1:7. And God did not send them with that message or send them at all. 2 John 1:7. For many deceivers are entered into the world, who confess not that salvation of Jehovah is come in the flesh. This is a deceiver and an antichrist. So they're not saying this, they saying what they believe according to their own hearts. Numbers 12:6. Let's get this information from Jehovah. Because we know they prophesy lies. He hasn't sent them. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Spirit of God, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. We also have people walking around saying they're having dreams of things and believing it's from the Most High. I know we've heard them, people having dreams of their family members in heaven with wings and talking to them and all sorts of things. But that's not the Most High. Deuteronomy 18:18. Because those who say they have my truth and walk unrighteously, the Most High is not with them and showing them those things and those things that they're doing. So their works is of the devil. They don't believe he can send visions as well. Deuteronomy 18:18. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command. So they have to tell us and show us where the Creator told them what they said. Because the majority of the times they're not going to show it. They're going to say, why do I have to show you anything? Then I say, then why are you talking to me? Because you're just talking. Show me the evidence. Where are you getting this information from? According to what? Who is your God? I can show you mine. Who's yours? But most of the time, they're gonna say they can't. I can't. It's not for me to show you. I don't have to show you. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. And I also let them know, hey, you don't have to talk to me either, because I can show you where mine is at. Right here in the Sovereign King James 16:11, that's his word, and he dwells in his vessels. And I follow this truth, the pure doctrine. I don't follow Babel. So don't try to bring me into Babylon with you. Ezekiel 13:6. He's going to tell them about their dreams. They have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, the Spirit of God saith, and the Spirit of God have not sent them, and they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word. So they're trying to spread these lying divinations around. Everybody's saying Christ and the Spirit of God saying this, but then when you tell them show them, they either can't show you, or they go into these Jewish fables and these other books that doesn't explain anything, doesn't say anything. They want them to confirm those words. Genesis 3:1-2. Let's get an example of this. I'm going to go back up here. Go right back up here. Now the serpent was more subtile than any beast of the field which the Spirit of God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruits of the trees of the garden. 3-4. But the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. Let's see what a creature is. So Genesis 1:21. This subtile creature. And God, Genesis 1:21, and God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind, and God saw that it was good. Wisdom of Solomon 9:2. Because we're going to break down that Genesis a little bit. And ordained man through thy wisdom that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made. He's supposed to have dominion over the creatures. Okay? Romans 1:25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie? And who worshiped and served the Creator more than the Creator, who is blessed forever? Amen. The creature, I'm sorry. Let me read that again. Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worshiped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever? Amen. We did. Did we not? See what this tree is. Genesis 2 and 9. Matter of fact, I gotta go to 1. Load up. All right, 2 and 9. And out of the ground made the Spirit of God our guide to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Let's go to fruit. Let's see this fruit. Genesis 1:11. And God said, let earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit, the tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose season itself upon the earth, and it was so. So he's going to bring forth these works. Let's go to the fruit. Fruit. This work produced from labor. So let's read this again. Genesis 3:1-4. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Spirit of God had made. So this creature of confusion. And he said unto the woman, yea, have God said, so now he's talking to these individuals, yea, have God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruits of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. So we got the commandment, we got the instructions, we knew what it was. We know what it was even today now. And the serpent said to the woman, ye shall not surely die. He's going to give you his truth. We'll get another truth. That's, you go, Bobby. Back to 2 Thessalonians 2:11. There go Bobby. You got the instruction. He said you're not, after somebody talk like that, it's time to walk away. But that's not what happens. 2 Thessalonians 2:11, and for this cause God shall send them strong delusions, and they shall believe a lie. Let's get an example of things that we do. Let's go to 2 Samuel 11:2-3. We're going to get an example of things we do after we receive instructions and we know right from wrong and what we're supposed to do, and we should always choose the right, but we choose the wrong based on what? We want to feed our own flesh, make our own truths and doctrines because we want to satisfy what we want to do. 2 Samuel 2 and 3. And it came to pass in the eventide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house, and from the roof he saw a woman washing herself. And the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? Let's get a little bit of understanding on this. Ephesians 4 and 5. Let's see what 1 means. Ephesians 4 and 5. One Creator, one faith, one baptism. That's one. Let's go to see this beautiful. Genesis 12:11. And when it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, the house of bondage, that he said unto Sarai his wife, Behold, now I know that thou in thy beauty and perfection, a fair woman to look upon. She's beautiful. Wisdom of Solomon 13:3. With whose beauty, if thy being delighted, took them to be gods, lowercase g, idols, for thought, let them know how much better the creator of them is, for the first author of beauty have created them. So the reason why I went here is because of this. Go back to 2 Samuel 11:2-3. So it says, and it came to pass in the evening tide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. So one, she's very beautiful, she's looking at her, and David sent inquired after the woman, so he got to find out who it is. And one said, Is not this Bathsheba the daughter of Elam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? You know what else he knew? Exodus 20:17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Deuteronomy 17:17. Remember, he knew this. Just like in the garden, we knew what the commandment was. Just like we here, we know what we should do and we should not do. But we start talking to ourselves because we seeing things looking beautiful to us, and we could satisfy that flesh. We're going to start making our own truth, make our own stage, put the mic in our hand, start performing works of the flesh. That Bobby Brown syndrome. Deuteronomy 17:17. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. We all do this. We all did it. We got to turn from this. Once we start meditating on the wrong things too much, or pondering on it, or thinking about it, getting aroused by it, then we need to flee from that thought, maybe from that location, immediately. Because we know what's right and what's wrong. Is that thing more beautiful than everlasting life with the Creator? Is it? That's the question we got to ask ourselves with every instance and every situation when that flesh rises up, and it will rise up. Is it worth it? It's all right. You had a Bobby Brown moment. We all do. But we need to turn from those moments. Don't let that cause us our eternity. This next section is turn back to indulge in the flesh. Galatians 5:19 and 20. want to turn back and do. They said, you know what? Living forever, man, that's corny. Hey, pass me the mic. Let me get the stage for while I'm alive. I'm going to perform. I'm going to act a fool. I'm going to live my truth out here on stage. It's my prerogative to do what I want to do. Galatians 5:19-21. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, reviling, and such like. Anything similar to that, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God. So you know that. But they still chose it. We still choose it. We want the fame and glory here. We want to gain the whole world here and lose our souls. My doctrine, my truth. He said, this is my body. I made it. You did. Really? My mom made me. It's crazy. Let's see what these works are. He says, now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these. Let's see these works. What is works? 1 Corinthians 12, chapter 12, verse 6a. And there are diversities of operations. That's all I needed from here. So now the diversities of operations of the flesh are manifest, which are made known, which are these. Let's see what the flesh. Genesis 2:23. Let's get an idea about this flesh. Is it a good thing? Is it what is it? We know it's not, but people act like they don't know. So for those who don't, let's see if this flesh and how this operates. Genesis 2:23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Sirach 17:31. You should notice different types of flesh. We'll get the definition right after this. Sirach 17:31. What is brighter than the sun, yet the light thereof faileth, and flesh and blood will imagine evil. Flesh and blood will imagine evil. Habakkuk 1:13, A and B. Let's get to this flesh. Let's get to this flesh. Thou not being perfection of pure eyes, than to behold evil, and canst not look on iniquity. That's all I needed. First Corinthians 15:50. Because remember, we are born in iniquity. That flesh. 1 Corinthians 15 and 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, neither doeth corruption inherit incorruption. Okay. Ecclesiastes 12:7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. So that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom. That flesh go back to the ground, and that spirit goes up. Right? Not the flesh. Not none of this. Adultery, fornication, unclean. That don't go to the kingdom. That's not getting there. It's not gonna make it. Your truth is not gonna make it to the kingdom. Let's see. Adultery. Leviticus 20:10. I'm just going to do adultery, and I wanted to get to fornication. That seems to be our thing. 20:10. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. Sirach 23:23. Why? Is that a harsh punishment? It doesn't matter. Whatever the Spirit of God says, that's what it is. If it's so harsh, then we shouldn't do it. For first, you have disobeyed the law of the Most High. That right there should be punishable with death. And secondly, she have trespassed against her own husband, it's the Most High. And thirdly, she have played the whore and adultery and brought children by another man. So she brought all these works by a different spirit. Let's go to where I want to get to. Fornication. So adultery is basically we not listening to the Creator or our husband, and we doing what we want to do, going out there listening to other spirits and men with their own truth, their own gods, lowercase g, idols, doing whatever they saying to do, which is vanity and it's not going to profit us nothing, and it's contrary to Jehovah. Leviticus 19:29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness. So when we teach our children, teach people around us to do as they feel, it's their truth, it's their body, they can do whatever they want. There was even this one that said that they believe, they told their children they should try everything one time. It's just so much worldly knowledge and influence in our people that we mix it with holiness, but it's nothing holy about it, and it's crazy. It's crazy. They're mixing everything together and making it their own truth. I'm taking a little bit here, a little bit of there, a little bit from the Pan-African movement, a little bit from Christianity, a little from the camp, and I'm going to try to blend a little bit of truth with it and then put it together, and what do you get? Sirach 23:17. That's that Bobby Brown syndrome. You're going to get infected. Don't get infected with that. Why? All bread is sweet to a whoremonger. He will not leave off till he die. They're going to be spreading that and believing that until they're gone. 1 Corinthians 6:18. Because they want to continue doing that on their own thing. They want to be the one in control. They want to be the one in charge. Flee fornication. Every sin that a man, male or female, doeth is without the body. But he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. Galatians 5:21. Envying, murders, drunkenness, reviling, and such like. Add into here. Let me give another example of this fornication. Forbidden practices. Mardi Gras, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, birthdays, Black History Month voting. Why we always want to celebrate the flesh? Is there a reason? Now that we know better and we have the truth, shouldn't we follow it? Who wants to go back to do those things? Those things that can bring you actual diseases and death and can get you murdered or a virus or anything. It's confusion. You want to go back for that feeling in your body? It feels good to drink. Oh, I'm temporarily, oh, I'm good. I feel good. And then what happened? You feel disgusting the next day, don't you? We got to get out of our own way and follow the ways of Jehovah, because our ways just lead us to death, because it's confusion, and it's, if I think about things that I did, it's wild, it's crazy. It's like committing suicide. Here's another one I wanted to show, another example of lewdness. Where's it at? No, which one it was? No, I want an example of, lewdness, and I want an example of fornication in this instant. 2 Samuel 13, 1-14. Because even if we don't do this to our physical sister, we still doing it to our physical sister by blood, we're still doing it to our sisters and brothers out there in the world. Mentally, emotionally. It doesn't always have to be a physical form. It can be in many forms that we're doing this, and we performing these acts and really defiling and messing up our brothers and sisters out there. Let's go to 2 Samuel 13, 1-14. It's always gonna, this same scenario always plays out. Let's go up here. 13. And it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister whose name was Tamar, and Amnon, the son of David, loved her. So already this, it's a red flag. She was very beautiful, but that was his sister. They had the same father. Just as we have the same father, which is Jehovah, the Creator, we should be mindful of that as well, but we don't. And Amnon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar, and she was a virgin. And Amnon thought it hard for him to do anything to her. Now he's sick with this lust, Another red flag. And Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shemaiah, David's brother. And Jonadab was a very subtle man. Another red flag. And he said unto him, Why art thou, being the king's son, lean from day to day? Wilt thou not tell me? And Amnon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother, Absalom's sister. Once he heard that news, he should have been like, something's wrong with you, and talked him out of it. Another red flag. And Jonadab said unto him, Lay thee down on thy bed and make thyself sick. And when thy father come to see thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it and eat it at her hand. So now he's making up a scheme. Another red flag, but he didn't rebuke him. He didn't say, hey, that's wrong. That's your sister, bro. Like, what are you doing? None of that happened. He's going to devise a scheme so he can do what he want to do and then stand in the corner and laugh later on. Let's go down. We're going to read all of this. And at the end, what happens? So David brings her in. She does that. Let's go here. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her and said unto her, Come lie with me, my sister. And she answered him, Nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly. Don't do this foolish stuff. This foolishness shouldn't be done in Israel. It's lewdness. It's fornication. It's lust. And I, whither shall I cause my shame to go? And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. So she's letting him know. You're going to do this lewd act? Now therefore I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from thee. Howbeit, he would not hearken unto her voice, but being stronger than her, she forced her. The stronger than she forced her and lay with her. So he raped his sister. Physically. Shamed her, committed lewdness, folly, foolishness in Israel, which he should not do. She warned him, rebuked him, as his cousin up there should have did, but he did not. So how many instances do we see this happening in our community between our people, where people should be rebuking people for these thoughts, but they're not. Instead, they're encouraging them to do these wild acts, sleep with multiple sisters who don't know better, who are emotionally distraught or have issues, but you take advantage of them. It's just like forcing them, but you're doing it emotionally, mentally. And that's not right. You shouldn't be doing this. You want to make your own doctrine, your own truth in your mind, knowing that that is completely wrong. And this is the same as with these false doctrines. You know it's wrong, but you're trying to force it on people to get your own pleasure out of it. So you're willing to make someone else ashamed and kill themselves and make them, you don't even care how they feel, but as long as you get your satisfaction out of it, that's all you care about. We should consider these things. Job 15, 34, 35. But let something like that happen to us, we wouldn't want that to happen to us or to our family, but we gladly do it. Wow. For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery. They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit. We just seen all of that. That mischief, vanity, deceit. A hypocrite. Psalm 78, 37 down to 59. For their hearts was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. They want to feed their own flesh and their own lifestyle. They want to get their own satisfaction, not to satisfy Jehovah to his delight. They want to get their own. They want to be on stage performing like Bobby. They want to live their own truth. But he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquity and destroyed them not. Yea, many a time turned he his anger away and did not stir up all his wrath. So even though we did the foolishness, when we should have died 1,000 times over, he forgave this. For he remembered that they were but flesh, a wind that passeth away and cometh not again. After we leave here, it's a done deal for us. How often did they provoke him in the wilderness and grieve him in the desert? Yea, they turned back and tempted God and limited the Holy One of Israel. Now they saying it's things they can't do. I'm going to live my truth. I'm the creator. A woman created the universe. The mother God. Wow. They remembered not his hand, not his power, nor the day when he delivered them from the enemy. They forgot how he took them out of that garbage that they're into now. How he had wrought his signs in the house of bondage and his wonders in the field of Zion. And he turned their rivers into blood, to a lifestyle in their floods that they could not drink. They didn't understand nothing. They was in darkness. He sent divers sorts of flies among them, which devoured them, and frogs, which destroyed them. He gave also their increase unto the caterpillar, and their labor unto the locust. He destroyed their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave up their cattle also to the hail, and their flocks to hot thunderbolts. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation and trouble, by sending evil angels among them, evil messengers among them. He made a way to his anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence, and smote all the firstborn in the house of bondage, the chief of their strength in the tabernacles of Ham, but made his own people to go forth like sheep, and guided them in the wilderness like a flock. And he led them on safely, so that they feared not, but the sea overwhelmed their enemies. And he brought them to the border of his sanctuary, even to this mountain which his right hand, his righteous power has purchased. So we're purchased. We're not of our own. So we cannot have our own doctrine. We could not save ourselves, and we cannot save ourselves. He cast out the heathen also before them, and divided them in inheritance by line, and made the tribes of Israel to dwell in their tents. Okay, you think we'd be grateful after all of that? Yet they tempted and provoked the Most High God, and kept not his testimonies, but turned back and dealt unfaithfully like their fathers. They were turned aside like a deceitful bow, for they provoked him to anger with their high places, and moved him to jealousy with their graven images. When God heard this, he was wroth and greatly hated Israel. So as you can see, we're ungrateful. We want to be gods. We don't want to follow the Creator. We want to be the Creator. We don't want to follow the rules. We want to make our own rules. We don't want to be separated and holy. We want to be doing what the world does and be accepted by the Most High God. We want our cake and to eat it too. However, Hosea 7 and 8. He took us out of Egypt. We don't want to go back there. I don't want to go back there, ever. Ephraim, he have mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. So, a cake look good on the outside, but And the inside is all mushy. It ain't done. Not fully committed to the law of Jehovah. Still want to do things your way or our way, according to our truth. But you won't be satisfied because the truth that we have is vain. We need to fully commit, fully turn over to the law, statutes, and commandments of Jehovah. We can't mix ourselves among the people. We're supposed to be separated and consecrated and sanctified to Jehovah alone. So why are we mixing among the people, mixing with their doctrine, their ways, beliefs, customs, and traditions? Why are we still tempting Jehovah? Are we dumb? Because he gave us understanding. He gave us the law, statutes, commandments. So either that or we just blatantly just saying, send me to hell, Jehovah. I'm ready. Oh, not today. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. You're not ready to do what? To read? No, I'm just not ready to follow. What? You're not ready for righteousness? You're not ready for salvation? You're not ready to get out of your own trials and tribulations and troubles that you're in now to seek a better path for yourself and your family? Not that you're not going to go through trials, but at least you have the Creator to be there with you in the furnace. Right now you're alone. Who you with? Satan can't help you. The flesh can't help you. A man can't help you, male or female. What you mean you're not ready yet? Genesis 1:12. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind, and God saw that it was good. So how you mixing among the people? You should be with the servants of Jehovah. You should be Israel. You should be bringing the works, the fruit, the works of the Spirit, the fruits of the Spirit. Can't bring both. It's one or the other. From the beginning, there was a separation. It shows this all the time. Heaven and earth, Cain and Abel. I mean, Esau and Jacob. So why are we making our own truths? That doesn't profit us anything. It's not going to change the word of the Most High. Leviticus 19:19. Ye shall keep my statutes. Who? You, me, his servants. Those who want everlasting life. Those who want to get into the kingdom. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. Neither shall a garment mingle the linen and woolen come upon thee. You shouldn't have two different coverings or two different words in your mouth. Choose one. If you're serving the Lord, stay on this side. If you're not, get on the other side. But stay there. Choose one. People want to mix and mingle. What's the reason why they do this? What happens? It affects your walk. Let's get an example of this. Mark 4:18 and 19. And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things entering in, choke the word and it become unfruitful. Right. And they develop their own truths. They want things of the world. They want that temporal satisfaction. They hear the word, they get the truth. And they're like, man, I can't do that though. I need that. Man, I really do like pork. I really like to fornicate. I mean, I had a lot of joints, so, I got a lot of numbers. With the GTD near the name, you know what that? No. He took us out of that stuff. That's all vanity. Is that worth eternal life? If it's worth it for you, that's your decision. I'm going to stay in my lane, you stay in your lane. Exodus 5:1. We're supposed to be caring about this world. We're supposed to be letting this world go. And afterward, Moses and Aaron went in and told the king of sin, thus saith the Spirit of God, guide of Israel, Jehovah's servant, let my people go that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. So we in the wilderness to get right and prepare ourselves for the way Jehovah to be fit for the kingdom, not to be having our own truths and still going back into bondage. He's taking us out of there. He took us out of there. But people want to go back. They miss something very important there. It's something that they need to go back and get. This wilderness is our time to get it right. This is our only time to get it right. Deuteronomy 8:2. And thou shalt remember all the ways which the Spirit of God thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldst keep his commandments or no. Not for you to make your own truth up. "40 years. Let me get the definition of that. Let's get 40. 40 years. An era of proving and trial. Time of purification and preparation. Extended season of trial. So it's to see if we're going to be on the Lord's side or not. This is what we're here for. To get right. Not to get wrong. We're already in that already. This is not a game, but some people just gonna want to live that fleshly life. Acts 7:36. And this is why it's so crazy, because during this time, even with our ancestors, our forefathers during that time, this is what he did. Acts 7:36. He brought them out after that he had showed wonders and signs in the land of the house of bondage and in the Red Sea, the people of sin, in the wilderness 40 years. So we've seen all the stuff that he did to those unrighteous people. Yet, somehow we want to run back, and then death looks so fascinating to us. It looks very good to, hey, we keep going back to it. It must be very beautiful, very fair to look upon. Numbers 14, 26, and 27. And the Spirit of God spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, how long shall I bear with this evil congregation which murmur against me. I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel, which they murmur against me. Say unto them, as truly as I live, saith the Spirit of God, as ye have spoken in my ears, so will I do to you. We're going to go down to verse 35. Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness, and all that were numbered of you according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward, which have murmured against me. Doubtless ye shall not come into the land concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein, save only Caleb the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun. But your little ones which ye said should be a prey, them will I bring in, and they shall know the land which ye have despised. We despised it, we hate it. But as for you, your carcasses, they shall fall in this wilderness. That's what we after. And your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years, and bear your whoredoms until your carcasses be wasted in the wilderness. And the numbers of your days in which ye search the land, even 40 years. Even 40 days, each day for a year. And ye shall know my breach of promise. I, the Spirit of God, have said, I will surely do it unto all this evil congregation that are gathered together against me. In this wilderness shall they shall be consumed, and there they shall die. I look back at my life, I said, and I look at all the stuff that I did, I would kill me. So I don't make, he sees all. Once we in the truth, we know he knows all. And we know we have been very evil, and we murmured, and we were very spoiled and disobedient to the Most High after he done all this stuff for us. That's why, to come out of it, to be brought out of it by the Most High, and to want to go back in it, it's like, that's, evil. We seen that part, and then we seen the truth. Like, nah, I don't want to go through this. I don't want to endure this. I'd rather go back and be friends with the world. I'd rather be cool with my children, or my mother, or my father, or my wife, or my husband, and, here on earth, and live like everybody else is living, and enjoying the holidays, and, and that togetherness, rather than spending that time with the creator of heaven and earth. They say, I miss those things. I want, that's what I want that. Let's pivot. Whoever was thinking about that in that moment thought it was a heartfelt moment. No, that's what they're saying, and it makes no sense. Why? Matthew 10:34-36. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. So if I'm following the Spirit of God, and we follow the Spirit of God, anything that's an enemy to him is an enemy to me. And I don't feel anything about it. Why? Because I'm going to endure this to the end, and I want to be with the Creator for all eternity, have everlasting life with him. And whoever decides they want to pick death and hell, I don't want to. I don't want to go. They can write me a postcard and let me know how it was. Let's do this last section. Back to the fleshy way of life. So after you done did all that, you say, I'm in it. Hey, I'm going to do it. Luke 17:32. This is it for me. Luke 17:32. Remember Lot's wife. Wisdom of Solomon 10:7. Of whose wickedness even to this day the wasteland that smoketh is a testimony, and plants bearing fruit, works that never come to ripeness. And the standing pillar of salt is a monument of an unbelieving soul. Lot's wife had some unbelief. She didn't believe. She wanted to stay back. Genesis 19:26. We ain't gonna read the whole thing. Everybody should have read this by now, but go back. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go up to, let's go to 24 to 26. I'll start 24. Then the Spirit of God rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Spirit of God out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. So this thing, this city and these people displeased the Spirit of God, but she went back to that. She didn't believe on the promises of Jehovah. She didn't believe the Spirit. She was all consumed in the flesh. So she returned. Okay. Proverbs 23:11. Proverbs 23, it says 23. 11, I don't see it. Am I in Proverbs? 1 second, sorry. I thought it was 26. Wait, 26:11. That's why. Sorry. So she returned. As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. So when we turn back, return to that foolishness that we came out of. Back to that vomit, that garbage. Back to that same way of living, that false doctrine, back to that false worship, back to the lies, back to whoredom, back to the buildings, back to the camps. Matthew 15:26. Back to the multitude that does evil. Back to your pork rib barbecues. Back to your Christmas. back to your Halloween. But he answered and said, "It's not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs." First Corinthians 1:18. She had this unbelief. Return to that vomit. Okay. For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which are saved is the power of God. So that was foolishness to Lot's wife. The preaching of that suffering unto death. I'm not doing that. That's what I ain't doing that. I'm going to live this high life over here. Be rich over here. I'm somebody over here. I got a stage. I got a mic. I got followers. They love me over here. I'm staying here. I got to go over there and suffer to do what? To get something I can't see? Psh. Turn my mic up. It's my truth. The tongue of the unwise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. That's foolishness. Sirach 20:16. And this is in our nation. This is me. I was this. No need to hide it. I was on stage at one point in time. I was Bobby. Sirach 20:16. I was sounding like an idiot. The fool saith, I have no friends, I have no thank for all my good deeds, and they that eat my bread speak evil to me. Self-righteous. Fools. They're all about themselves. Selfish. My truth. This is my bike, punk. Right? Like Debo, they just think they're going to Debo God. Make my own thing. I'm going to save myself. Fools. Revelation 22:15. Dogs returning to that vomit. That dumb way of living. Living in darkness. For without are dogs, sorcerers, whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whoever loveth and maketh a lie. Those are without. What? Outside. They lacking that knowledge, outside of the truth, excluded from the covenant, bearing no fruits of the Spirit, absent, will be absent from the kingdom. You know I love this Paleo Hebrews dictionary. But that's where they're going to be. They're going to be without. 1 Kings 18:21. If we on this walk, we serious about it, we better do what we got to do. Got to suffer, got to suffer. Christ suffered, we suffer. That's it. Just do it. It's our reasonable service, ain't it? And Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long how thou halt ye between two opinions? If the Spirit of God be God, or your God, follow him. But if by all, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. Who you gonna follow? You wanna have your truth? Then go do that. Go do that. Don't put God in it. Don't say the God told you. God didn't tell you nothing. Go do that. If it's your truth, you be God. You just go do what you got to do. Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other. He'll promise one of them, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. Can't be with both. Choose one. You tough, right, eh? 1 Corinthians 15:50. But remember this. While you making your choice, remember this. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God. Neither do corruption inherit incorruption. So if you choose the way of the flesh, you're not getting into the kingdom. No matter what you say. Proverbs 3:35. Let's see what this inherit is. Proverbs 3:35. Don't let somebody else tell you that you're going to enter somewhere where God already said you're not. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. God said you ain't getting into that kingdom. You ain't getting into that kingdom. Galatians 5:8. Galatians. Is it Galatians really or Romans 5:8? Let's see. 1 second. Sorry again. Might be 8:5. Don't know why. Oh, 6:8. Press the wrong one. All right, 6:8 right here. No. Yes, it is. Galatians 6:8. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. Choose one. He's giving straight commandments. He gave you a straight hey, choose one. Good or evil, it's up to you. Life or death. First Timothy 6:7. First Timothy 6, verse 7. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain that we can carry nothing out. So for people to be having their own truths and doctrines, okay, you ain't carrying nothing out because we didn't bring nothing in. We didn't do nothing of our own powers. Isaiah 40:17. So you think you're going to blaspheme God and get away with it, or you're going to make your own kingdom in your own mind in your own land? Let's see. All nations, Isaiah 40:17, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. Romans 12:3. We do this a lot. I used to do this, think I was the best thing on the planet, in the universe, in the whole galaxy of the Guardians or whatever. I was bugging out. Romans 12:3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man, male or female, that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. Full thought. But to think soberly according as God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. So when we over here taking selfies and glorifying our bodies and having our own truths and believing, oh, we do this, I do that, we are nothing. We are even less than nothing, and we carry nothing here, and we're not going to carry nothing out. We need to get, this is our time to get it right, so we may be saved. Maybe. So it's going to be the last scripture, 1 Thessalonians 5:8. And then we'll come back for part 3. 1 Thessalonians 5:8. But let us who are of the day. Is this 1 Thessalonians? No, 5 and 6. Sorry about that. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 6. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. So those in ignorance and in lack of understanding, let's not follow what they're doing. We here with the truth. Let's stay and endure in the truth. You can't do the works of the flesh and the spirit together. You can't, you have to choose a side. We can't serve God and mammon. We all know this. Let's not tell ourselves lies. Let's not believe in our own truth and our own doctrines. Let's not make ourselves sick with that Bobby Brown syndrome. If it's our prerogative, then it should be our prerogative to do good and to serve Jehovah at all times, that we might be saved. So I hope somebody was edified today with this teaching, part 2 of My Truth Doctrine, aka the Bobby Brown Syndrome. It's my prerogative. So until next time, I say to everyone, shalom.
I know you, and you adore. I stop you.